What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The 3 Show. We've got quite a bit to catch up on from last week, including some postseason clinches and intense matchups, so let's get everyone all caught up to speed. Although Wisconsin fell short against West Bend, they secured the fourth and final postseason spot in the Central Division with a little help from Rochester. The Grizzlies came up huge for the Woodsmen, eliminating St. Louis from the playoffs after completing a weekend sweep over the Junior Blues. Saturday's game showcased offensive depth with 6 different players finding the net, including defenseman Gavin Black, who recorded 3 points. Sunday was a true battle, a back-and-forth clash that ended with a final score of 5-4. Aiden Emmerich was stellar for Rochester, scoring 2 goals and adding an assist to lead his team to victory. In the East, Binghamton keeps on buzzing, extending their win streak to an impressive 16 games as they completed a dominant 3-game sweep over the Mountain Kings, scoring 21 goals while only allowing just 5. A total of 11 different players found the back of the net, 5 of them netting 2 or more goals. The standout of the series and the week was undoubtedly Brody Bess, who averages over 2 points per game and tallied 8 points in 3 games against New Hampshire, extending his personal point streak to 10 games. In the Frontier, along with Sheridan securing the second postseason spot in the division, the big storyline in the standings was Great Falls' crucial sweep over Badlands. Game 1's 4-0 victory was led by goaltender Caden Ryder, who earned his 3rd shutout of the season, stopping all 31 shots he faced. The Americans struck 4 goals again in Game 2, despite trailing 2-0 heading into the final period. Ty Obi not only got his team on the scoreboard, but scored another goal, which turned out to be the game winner, his 3rd game-winning goal of the season. Things were quiet down south, with only 2 series over the weekend as the Ice Bats swept the Roadrunners and Brahmas swept the Junior Oilers. Austin's series featured a thrilling overtime battle on Friday, with the Bats securing a 3-2 victory. All regulation goals were scored in the second period, as the Roadrunners struck early with 2 quick goals to take a 2-0 lead. The Bats quickly answered with 2 goals of their own, and in overtime, it was Paul Weiss who sealed the win with his 5th goal of the season. Both the Blizzard and Moose punched their ticket to the playoffs, as now 3 out of 4 spots have been claimed in the West Division. The Blizzard swept their opponents as Eli Fletcher led the charge for Alexandria, totaling 5 points on the weekend, including a fantastic showing against the Wilderness, netting his 3rd hat-trick of the season. Meanwhile, the Moose picked up 3 out of 4 points on the weekend, defeating the Warhawks after falling to the Wilderness in a shootout. Second star of the week, Dylan Posh was great between the pipes against Wilmer, making 31 out of 32 saves for a save percentage of .969. With only 2 weeks remaining in the regular season and 3 playoff spots up for grabs, this weekend sure will be interesting, so let's see what we've got in store. The Power have the chance to secure the Central Division title this weekend when they face off on the road against Peoria. For this to happen, West Bend must complete a sweep, but they'll also need some help from the Grizzlies. With the Cyclones trailing the Power by just 1 point in the standings, West Bend will be hoping that Rochester extends their win streak and puts an end to the Cyclones' momentum in regulation, as Wausau cannot earn a point for the clinch to occur. In the East, Northeast will travel to Maine for a 2-game series against the Nordiques, a pivotal matchup for the Gens as they look to secure 2nd place in the division and gain home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Heading into the final game between these 2 teams, Northeast leads the series 4-2. The last meeting took place during the weekend of January 31st, where each team earned a victory, including an impressive 5-0 shutout for the Nordiques, with Luke Pomerleau playing a key role by scoring a hat-trick. In the Frontier, Sheridan will host the Bighorns for a 2-game series at home. Similar to Northeast, this will be a crucial matchup for the Hawks as they too aim to maintain 2nd place in the division. Helena swept the first series back in October, though it is worth mentioning that both games were decided by just 1 goal, with the second game being decided in overtime. Given the previous outcome, this series is set to be a true showdown in the Frontier. Will Sheridan snap Helena's 14-game win streak, or will the Bighorns continue to roll towards the regular season title? Speaking of the regular season title, the Drillers are also vying for the top spot in the league before the postseason, and like the Bighorns, need every point they can get. Chris Francis and his team will head to College Station for a 3-game series against the Roadrunners. The fight for the final playoff spot in the West Division intensifies, with just 3 points separating teams 4 through 6. Friday's matchup between the Warhawks and Wilderness is crucial, as a win for Wilmer could boost their position in the standings and bring them closer to clinching a postseason berth. Wilmer currently leads the series 4-3, with this being their final meeting of the season. The last encounter took place recently on the 7th, Wilmer securing a 2-1 win, thanks to Mason Wonka, who scored both goals to propel his team to victory. As always, thanks for tuning in to another episode. Be sure to comment below who you're rooting for this weekend, and be sure to follow along all the live stats and scores on our website and tune in live on NATV.